This is a video of my 1924 Corona 3. I found this at a flea market a couple of weeks back. When I saw it, it was not in the case. The gentleman who sold it to me pointed out that he had the case, and even though it's really rough, well, you know, keeping it together. And also, it's a very unique case. It's got this badge on the front that says, made expressly for Corona by Likely. Kind of interesting. So we'll move that out of the way, and we'll move the typewriter over. You know, as with many machines, I had kind of resisted buying certain ones just because, oh, they're too common or something, but you know, sometimes you just have to not show interest, but just give one a chance and see what it's like. And I'll be honest, this one's a nice little typer. The one problem is the print quality. It's just not nice enough to really use it for serious work, but it works very well. I was looking for one of these this later style 3. More opposed to the earlier ones because it has shift keys on both sides of the keyboard, which helps if you're a touch typist. And because it has the return lever up here, the line space lever. But it's an incredibly small machine. I mean, it's so light. I mean, it's incredible. It's just too bad that the print quality isn't as good, but it's a nice machine overall, though. I mean, fairly well equipped. You know, you've got 2 carriage releases on either, one on either side. Your paper release, carriage mounted margin release there, as well as over here. Your paper clips, backspace, dual 2-color ribbon switch here. Just overall, a pretty cool machine. This one's a little more, should I say, unique, probably because of the case too, and because it's got an interesting keyboard. You've got this key here that has all accents and an accented E, as well as a curious quirk to this machine. And I see above the L, you have the pound symbol. You also have it above the S. I have no idea why that is, and both type slugs do have the pound key above for when you type in with the figure shift. So it's kind of a curious. It's a quirk. It's just interesting to note that. Also, underneath this dust cover here for the escapement and the drawband, there's an inscription. I don't remember exactly what it says, but it's dated June of 1924 in Montreal. It was William something and company. I'll put it in the description when I post the video. So kind of interesting, because part of it's written in script and the other part is printed. So it looks like it was engraved in. Kind of interesting. Let's go over the controls too, although I already have. This I didn't know what this was. This is actually to switch between single and double line spacing. In that position, 1 line space, the other position, dual line space. The indexing on this machine is the spring seems to be a little weak, but it works okay. The feed rollers are pretty worn out, but it feeds paper pretty well. I'm surprised by that, but as I keep saying, though, it's a shame that it doesn't print better, because it's actually a fun machine to use. As you can see, it's a little tricky to type on if you haven't used it in a while, because this keyboard is really small and tightly packed together, so it takes a little while getting used to it, but once you get used to it, it's actually pretty nice to type on. But as you can see, the print quality just isn't the best. The alignment can be very haphazard, but it does work. That's the important thing. It's just kind of, it's an interesting piece to own. This is your shift lock. I forgot to mention that. You do it like that. It's not the quickest device to use, but it works. But that's the 1924 Corona Folding 3.